Da, 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 da. I am very happy to say that I just got a package today from my friend Adam Safran over at flyingfoxfruits.com. He sent me an email saying he was going to rush deliver this to me overnight because these are super perishable, and he's like, okay, cross your fingers, these might not make it. So here's what I got. We've got a variety of Eugenia fruits, both Savanah cherries and cherry of the Rio Grandes. And these are Pitangas, or also known as Suriname cherries. And we've got Jaboticabas, and a couple more of the cherry of the Rio Grandes right there. So yeah, that's really exciting. This is all a lot of new stuff for me, so let's dive in. Okay, so let's get to it. First I'm going to go into the cherry of the Rio Grande and the Savanah cherry. If you take a look at them, they look very, very similar. And just recently there's a study saying that these are actually from the same species. So these have two different species names. This is Eugenia calycina, and this is Eugenia involucrata. Probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry. And people are saying now that these are actually the same species, but depending on what region they're from, they're given a different species name. So even though they're from the same species, they are supposed to be very different. In fact, I mean, you could tell right now like how different they look. But I'm curious about the flavor. The flavor might be the same, might be wildly different. Who knows? So Adam sent these two to me. He said that this one in particular, the Savanah cherry, this one is not, like, he doesn't think that the tree that this came off of was like super good. He's got like a better tree which produces a bigger fruit, which is this one, but unfortunately it got a little bit crushed. So I'm going to try it to see if it's still okay. It still looks fine. It's not like super brown or anything, but it looks a little squished, which I'm guessing happened during shipping, or maybe they just look that way. Might be wrong, but even from tree to tree, this is the same exact variation of the species, and like they look completely different as well. Which goes to show you, like, if you have fruit growing, like, one tree can produce fruit that is very, very good, another one can produce fruit that's very, very bad. They can have a completely different flavor, but be the same species and the same variety of a species as well. I'll start with the cherry of the Rio Grande. That's an interesting flavor. It's got a little interesting back end to it as well. Now, if you look at the seeds on the inside, they kind of look like little coffee beans. Check that out. It's not super sweet, not super tart, but there is like a subtle sweetness and tartness to it. It tastes kind of like, if you were to take the Suriname cherry, which tastes a little bit like bell peppers, and a regular dark cherry, and mix them together. Now, cherries and Eugenias are not related. They're different. They are different families of fruit. The texture is nice. It's very like soft and succulent. The flavor is like pretty mild, but it's a nice flavor. Although I like cherries, they're quite sweet, and I don't really like super sweet fruits. These are like a more like mature tasting like cherry. Even though they're not related, it's got like a more sophisticated flavor to it. Okay, so let's move on to the Savanah cherries, which, as I mentioned, they are very, very closely related, but they look different. Let's see if they taste different. You know, Adam said that these ones were not like his favorite, and yeah, I kind of go with him on that. They're good. They've got a similar kind of flavor but they also are a little bit more woody. They taste like something that they taste like a good fruit that you like foraged. You know, it's got like a little rough end to it. And it also only has one seed in it instead of the others, which had like 3 or 4. It looks like a little soybean. Yeah, and there's not a lot of flesh on it. You know, the cherry of the Rio Grande, like, you're getting quite a lot of flesh. This one, you're just kind of scraping it off the outside of the seed. Let me try this one. Now, this is the Savanah cherry as well, but Adam said this is from, like, his best tree. It's also was picked a little bit early. You can see it's a little bit red on the sides, but he said it should still taste good. So let's give this one a try. See, that one's good. It's got much more flesh to it. It doesn't really have so much of a roughness to it. It's got like a little more of an additional like berry kind of flavor to it. Maybe like a little bit like blackberries. Maybe a little bit like cranberry thrown in there. But mostly tastes, it tastes quite similar to the cherry of the Rio Grande, just like little subtle differences to it. And finally, I'm going to take a look at the Zill Dark Pitanga. Now this is from a nursery owned by Gary Zill, who I guess, like, if you grow fruit, he's like a celebrity. Me, I don't grow fruit. I've never heard of the guy, but if you grow fruit, then you might know that guy's name. He, I guess, produces mangoes and sends them out all around the country. So Adam told me. So yeah, this one's supposed to be pretty good. They're not subtly different. Like, that has a very unique flavor to it. It's got like a very nice texture. Like, you eat it and it just like explodes like a little water balloon. And it's got like a little bit of a funk to it. Not a bad funk, but you know, a good funk. It tastes a little bit like the funk that you get off a meringue. It's got like a little bit of like a gasoline kind of flavor. I know that gasoline is not like something you normally would think would taste good. It's something that, you know, you get used to that kind of like strange like muskiness, and it becomes like addicting. That's why people get completely crazy over meringues, like where it grows, with good reason, because it's a very tasty fruit once you learn to appreciate that kind of flavor. This has that. It's got a nice sweetness. It's got a nice tartness. That is really good. That is a really tasty fruit. That's much better than the Suriname cherry that I had before. This has a greater complexity to it. Very nice berry taste, cherry taste, bell pepper taste, and that kind of funk that I like. So yeah, this was really interesting. I have only had so many Eugenia type fruits, and this just kind of shows you like the kind of variety that is out there. And these are just a few of very, very many different Eugenia fruits out there. So if you want to grow this stuff, go over to flyingfoxfruits.com to find out more about that. But otherwise, guys, I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Okay, I only have 1 minute, so I have to make this fast. Guys, click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click that bell. I don't know what the bell does, but it probably gives an angel its wings, so click on it. That dislike button, don't click that one. Go to the comments, leave a comment if you have something to say. Go to this description, because in the description there is a link to my Patreon page where you can help contribute to my channel and make it grow. There's also a link to my website where you see a backlog of videos, more information, and also you can buy a t-shirt at my website now. I want to give a special shout out to the channel Smarter Every Day. Smarter Every Day is a mega contributor on Patreon. They're really helping me out. If you like what I'm doing with fruit, check out his channel because it basically covers everything involving science. It's really interesting. Also around there should be a couple of videos right here. These are the videos to my next week's episode if it's up, and last week's episode where you can check that out. I still have 3 seconds, guys, so thank you so much. Bye-bye.